Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to another recording of Lego City Underground. So I wanted to point out something, and this is not really a complaint so much about this Lego game as it is a thing that's going to happen in video games in general. While we're looking at this pause menu, there are a considerable amount of animations that are being rendered in real time over and over again for not really a long reason. Just starting at the top left, you have a minifig character that is going through an animation loop of looking left and right and blinking his eyes. You have a much more simplistic beating of the heartbeat that is just going over and over again. In the middle, we have the studs spinning, which the stud on the left and the stud on the right are spinning in different orientations and possibly even different speeds. You have the bricks spinning, possibly different orientations and different speeds. In the top right, you have the second player character. You have the resume button blinking over and over again. And then we have the bar of the red bricks spinning in a unbalanced circle so that it tilts a little forward and tilts a little out. This menu is particularly, there was just a micro stutter. There's one too. One of the places where micro stutterings happens all the time. Maybe it's because of all that's going on here. This is actually a lot. You have the head spinning in a different orientation, but same kind of pattern of a unbalanced circle. You have the wheel spinning, you have the gold bricks, you have the true Lego City hero filling up over and over again, and then you have the paused part at the very bottom blinking. All of this is being rendered every single time using math and NVIDIA physics. Probably. This is probably hugely demanding on NVIDIA physics for no reason. There's no technology that I know of that would say, hey, wait a minute, we know that the red brick is just going to turn into a saved animation, and even if it would look different based on the video settings of the game, which honestly, this is the pause menu there, it wouldn't be terrible if the video settings didn't even really affect this menu, and it was just all pre-rendered animations being played over and over again. But even if the settings did affect this, as far as I know, there's no way to save into a memory buffer or save into a file some kind of video loop that you could just pull back and play. And there's a big difference between having a frame that you have to calculate and that will potentially take longer than 1/60th of a second, or hopefully take less than 1/60th of a second, so you could get 60 frames per second. But there's no need for any of that, particularly in this pause menu. Now, in the real game, you never know what's going to happen next, so having looped animations becomes a lot less useful. But there's plenty of times, not just on pause screens, but there's plenty of times where things could just be rendered once and then recalled later, even if it was just that a small amount, like, I don't know, 1 gig of slower RAM is put into video cards, and that 1 gig is held, or just the computer RAM uses 1 gig of RAM just to hold these animations. And that's the kind of thing, kind of optimization that we're going to have to I think they're going to have to start embracing while making games, because it is going to quickly become very much impossible to continue to grow how much the graphics cost and how much they use without there being a continuing exponential amount of power that you would need inside your computer. And ideally, we'd like to get to a point where computers gaming PCs got cheaper, not more expensive, or even the same price. There we go, Lego bricks. So what we're doing right now is we're just trying to so like more animations here that honestly that's the same animation even if the face is different, because you could change the textures in theory. And maybe there is some low-level physics, NVIDIA physics or DirectX technology that I'm just unaware of to make pre-rendered animation or save an animation. What we're trying to do is just find the red brick in this area and then leave. I have no desire to run around and try and get everything. So we're just looking around, and there's definitely several things over here, which kind of makes me feel like there's a decent chance that it is over there, but I'm gonna run over here instead. We need a couple more red bricks, and then we'll kind of have everything. So there's quite a lot in this building. I believe this is the area where that's near where the rocket ship building is. Yeah, I think this is the rocket ship building right there. We've unlocked the Royal Guard, which is more indication that TT Fusion really didn't try to localize this game at all. Making it... The thing is, if you were going to make this Lego City... there we go. Found it. If you were going to build a Lego City that was in the UK, then why have a Chinatown and an Italian town, for lack of a better term? Let's see where this takes us. Way over there. Took me in the exact opposite direction I wanted to go.
Hey there, man.
Yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to, if that was your goal, to have this be a British Lego UK, Lego London. That's, I mean, I'm fine with that, but just do it. Don't kind of half do it. Or let's see, is there anything down here? No. I guess we'll take this for safety's sake. This might be the only way to actually get up here. I'm stuck in the pipe. And then we just need Rex. It's strange that Rex is the only person that seems to be capable of breaking those things. Alright, invincibility is not super useful. In fact, it often becomes less useful in some scenarios. I think it's probably worth it to get all of these though. Still very weird that it unlocks free run mode instead of free run mode just being unlocked by default. Alright. Alright. So our next goal is to... How is this supposed to work? Oh, like that. Okay. So that's how I was supposed to get over there. Let's run over to the next section. We collected a few things. Here's a Herbert Hotel that plays no role. Honestly, it probably would have been a smart move for them to simply say, let's scan and make a one-on-one copy of London, or at least the big important parts of London. I don't know if I'm really familiar enough with London to say too much there, but you would definitely have the double-decker red buses. You would definitely have I'm just not gonna even do that. Let's see. Where could it be? You definitely would have like 10 Downing Street, or and the Eye of the World, the big Ferris wheel and Big Ben and London Bridge, things like that. But I think more incidentally and more often than not, you would mostly be left with small pubs and businesses that only people who actually lived in London, which London's also a very expensive place, would recognize. On the other hand, if the goal here was that they were going to make an entire world where there was each section of the city was incidental to the entire world, well then you've missed anything from Africa, you've missed anything from the Middle East, you missed a significant amount of Asia by having something that's only slightly, having the gangs be Chinese / Japanese, take your pick. You've missed Australia, you've missed... Let's see. There it is. Got it. You've missed Russia, you've missed most of Europe. So, you've missed all of South America. So yeah, and if you were just, even if you were gonna try and get the 7 wonders of the world, I'm gonna come down here and grab this while we're at it. Is there another one over here? Yep. Yeah, even if you were going to do the 7 wonders of the world, you would have had more variety in this city than what we have.
I'm late again.
Alright. So I've got to teleport inside this greenhouse to get this red brick. This really is great evidence that it would be totally not worth your time to even try to get everything or run around in the open world until you've played the story all the way through. So I think I am playing it the logical way to play it. This is pretty much how it's always worked with other LEGO games. Now, fall rescue won't be super useful either, but probably better than nothing. Alright. So, if I do this, I can just capture him that way. Alright. So, okay, making progress. That now, like, fall rescue's slightly helpful if you're in a mission and you're falling over and dying a lot, but all you really lose when you fall is studs, so it's hardly a big deal. So we've now gotten all the red bricks on this island.
What's up?
We've gotten the red bricks on this island and this, and we had everything on this. There is no red brick on Lady Liberty Island, which seems to be our final bonus area. We got the red brick on that bridge. Double check we made it on this bridge. Yes. So then that only leaves this island. So this is where we're going. We've got to find a boat. I believe this is the right way. After we get those red bricks, I think the only ones left are all in levels and kind of unimportant. Is there actually a boat that would show up in this canal? I don't think there is. There's
no chance.
So we see all these boats here, and they will inevitably stop spawning as I get closer. Alright, got one. And we couldn't have crossed this line, which means I would have gotten eaten by them. I do have nitrous now for all vehicles, so we can speed up our movement a little bit with longer boosts than able to. But it's pretty obvious they put this island really, really far away. And there's really nothing in between here, just boats. Then we're back into a region of the water where we could actually swim. And there's a hidden vehicle time trial challenge. We may have to struggle with that actually quite a bit to find all of the vehicle time travel. This is right here. We might as well get it while we're here. Alright. Anything else to be scanned? Yeah, I don't feel like I saw a lot of these in the overworld. So as we're getting and collecting everything else, This is some kind of thing that's just in the air. Complete 14 time trials. Interesting. So there is something hidden. Alright. So yeah, we're gonna have trouble. Is this a place where you put? Weird, they use those barrels to blow up things, and then they decide to use them again as just a incidental Lego piece. But clearly, the game needed significant amounts of incidental Lego pieces, and way more than the game has. Now that LEGO Dimensions as a game has come and gone and just been kind of a failure, or at least a moderate success, they really should re-release it and without the toys and make it more obvious that they patch that in. You don't, I think, need any of the toys to do any of the content after you buy LEGO Dimensions, even the Season 2, Season 3 stuff. But I could be wrong about that. Re-releasing it, though, might be a good idea, and then taking a lot of that content that was made and using it in another game probably wouldn't be a terrible thought. LEGO Dimensions, more than any other LEGO game, would have just bespoke sections that would not connect thematically with any of the other sections. Seems like I'm gonna have to fly around in this area. Doesn't seem like there's a lot here. So yeah, we have a super build, which would just be a car. It feels like the car is going to give you kind of a racetrack type thing. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Although I would also say that the LEGO Dimensions stuff, in a weird way, is not as useful as it would seem, because like when you're doing the Doctor Who level, you're deep into Doctor Who's content, or if you're doing the Wizard of Oz level, you're deep in the Wizard of Oz content. So it's debatable how much of that could be really reused. But the small things probably could be reused. Just a general layout of an area. Small things, small little builds. Things like these barrels, for instance, could have been created for the very first LEGO Star Wars game, for all I know, and they still work perfectly fine. Chat show host. Alright. I'm fairly certain there's our red brick there. That's what I thought. I knew there was something there. I didn't know it was the red brick. So, call in a car. They'll be facing the wrong direction, because I was facing the wrong direction. We don't even really have to aim this or do anything, just get up here, jump on it, and then That gets us where we want. That is now unlocked. Let's see where this teleport takes us. Hopefully it doesn't take us. Oh, seriously? Jump back this way. And then jump back this way. Wow, the angle is even off on that one. So it does seem like there might be a way to screw this up. Okay. There's something else over here, though. I'm fairly certain. We'll have to scan and see before we leave this island, because I want to have to come back to this island. This small section. Alright, there we go. It is a boulder to break. So Super Ray Gun is just like a slightly better ray gun. There's really not a lot to shoot around here to even show it off, but did I even turn it on? Super color gun. Let's see. Super ray gun's not even on. So doesn't seem like it's doing too much. Looks like there might be something over here, but apparently not. Alright, well then that puts us done with everything in the overworld. We have all of the red bricks in the overworld, which leaves us with 10 red bricks that we didn't collect out of the 15 levels, which that totally makes sense. So ideally what we're looking for is level 15, so we can find the red brick on this, and I believe that would be Blackwell's moon base. These aren't numbered, so we'll have to just jump in here, change disguises. Let's see. We kind of need everything the way it is. Like, we can't really change anything. But if they're the achievement, I haven't checked to see if I actually got the achievement for playing with all custom characters in every hero slot. So we've got a ton of red bricks enabled now. We can do everything. There's only going to be a couple points where it's going to be a problem.
That's weird.
We can skip through the levels.
I bet it's because
skip all these cutscenes. At least we can skip the out-of-game cutscenes. But we're going to have to be cautious, because while I would like to get everything right now, if I can just get to, as soon as we get that red brick, I'm gonna leave. We need full score multiplier, and then we'll run through all the levels a second time. So for this instance, we're going to end up going through these levels 2 or 3 times in total. I have to just scan. Like, this is what sucks. Well, doesn't suck that bad, clearly, if I can just accidentally find it, but you really have to be careful. Unlike every other Lego game where you could have just run around and had something flickering on the screen pointing you in certain directions, allowing you to play very much like a kid. There's kind of a lack of understanding of how a 6-year-old would want to play video games. Like, making it so you have to search for and then determine where you're going to go is not intuitive enough for most little kids, and they would much prefer to just be able to run around and have their fun. Unlimited dynamite only works in the city, so some of these things don't even work? This is BS. Return to the city to use it. There's no logical reason to hamstring a player like that. It really devalues unlimited dynamite. In comparison, let's not be wrong here, the unlimited super color gun works perfectly fine. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going, but I'll go up here and see. This takes me to where I'm supposed to be going. Like, the fact that you scan things outside of the menu, well, the fact that when you're scanning things you see something completely different than what you normally see is a problem. So here's the red brick. Alright. That's all we needed. Save and return to Lego City. Studs times 10. And we got the police shield, which getting the police shield gives us, what, a gold brick, but no studs. In Lego Star Wars, you definitely were getting extra amounts of studs when you would build something like the police shield. Also, though, Lego Star Wars had it where you were collecting like 10 parts kits, and then this is only 4 more individualized specific actions, which is probably better the way they're doing it now. Alright. So we could just look here and see what we are missing. 3 red bricks, some for this stuff. 2 green red brick categories, 1 white red brick category, and this is the only thing we're looking for next. So what we want to do, now that we are getting 480 times these studs, is get that 8 times multiplier. Apollo Island Space Center is not the right level. I'm fairly certain. Lego City Bank. I don't believe it's the right level. Let's see. Papalardo's Ice Cream Parlor. No. Blackwell's Mansion Investigation. Blackwell's Mansion Robbery. Construction Yard. There's too much room here for a mistake. Like, some of these levels I can kind of definitely tell aren't the right ones, but I'm thinking maybe Papalardo's Ice Cream Parlor. But instead of just jumping into a level and trying to get the red brick and potentially being wrong, let's just take a moment here and open up the walkthrough, and we'll get a direct name. Studs timeout. Disruptive behavior. Special assignment is what we're looking for. After a massive freefall, you'll land in a storage room. Against one of the walls is a crate only Rick's Fury can busy open. Busy open? That's a weird phrase. Behind it is a way to a laser locked room with a red brick. Okay. So, disruptive behavior is what we're looking for. A mission called disruptive behavior. Like, none of these are labeled as disruptive behavior. None of these are mentioned like that at all. I'm gonna come back over here. Alright, Lego City. Blackwell's Moon Base. Seems like when you swap back and forth with the left bump, that works only for a brief second and then it stops working. Alright. I'm gonna jump in this one and we'll just see if this is it. Let's see. We'll see if this is 11. They all scream for ice cream. So we're gonna just have to jump around then. If there was a massive free fall, then alright. Just do that. We may have to get pretty deep into the level if it's the level I'm thinking about, because I think it's Blackwell's Mansion, and hopefully we don't screw up too much here. Blackwell's Mansion Investigation or Blackwell's Mansion Robbery. I'm gonna go with Robbery and see what this does. It's kind of pointless to ask, am I sure? Because I don't know. So that's 10, smash and grab. So we can kind of see how just bad this whole labeling system and menu system is. That, in all fairness, I guess it's the walkthrough that's terribly labeled.
Okay.
But there is definitely a disconnect between the fast travel sections on the map and the name of the assignments, which feels like then there were two groups of people working on the same project. I suppose if you come in and out of these missions, you will this is breaking and re-entering. Alright, I'm gonna have to just search it again, I guess. Alright, LEGO City Disruptive Behavior. This is 13. Special assignment 13. It is the one I'm thinking of. It's just, I don't know how we get to it. It is that really big level, which probably means it would be best to try and do that entire level. We probably won't even have time to do the entire level unless we go really, really long. We're looking at a lot of loading here. Alright. Construction yard. I think it is the construction yard. Or what? I mean, what else could this be? Blackwell's Mansion investigation. And then we went from this all the way through here. This door opened, we got on the UFO. Is it possible that there just are some levels you can't jump back into? That'd be ridiculous. And it's not like you have to scan the levels, they should unlock. Let's see. So it's either this or we're just out of luck and we're gonna have to run through the story level. But even if we did go through the story level, I don't think it would point us towards the next story level. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, did we count that one? 12, 13. So either I miscounted 2 or there's just ever so slightly not, there's like 2 missions missing. Alright, we'll just see what this is. If this is disruptive behavior, no, that's high steel. Alright. Okay.
Hey,
this is the whole Arnold Schwarzenegger
push it over by
thing.
the cone and stuff.
Let's see. LEGO City disruptive behavior on map. Let's see. Now I'm watching someone's YouTube video showing me exactly where it is. Secret base. Okay. Come on, game. Seriously? Okay. That's weird.
I gotta figure out who my...
So apparently, disruptive behavior in the secret base is way in an area I don't remember it being. Which is fair enough to say, because every single one of these levels really didn't follow a logical path. I wouldn't even be super upset if there was like a Lego footprint that would just walk you from this point to this point to this point and show the location. Disruptive behavior is over here under the classification of secret base. And we have like 14 minutes, so unless I can just really power through this, this is gonna be a pain. And I think we're probably gonna have some struggle, to say the least, trying to figure out just we're gonna have some struggle trying to figure out how to get all this stuff done.
Come on, try your best. You're gonna lose. I will hump you. I'm just playing with you so far. All right, put 'em up.
I'm gonna give you what for?
All right, put 'em up.
Am I supposed to grab somebody and...
I'm just playing with you so far.
So you wanna play it this way, do ya?
All right, put 'em up.
So you wanna play it this way, do ya? You
Yeah,
wanna fight
I don't
them?
think that's
I
gonna
know
work.
my rights.
I will hump you.
It's like we just kind of need to get through this room.
I will hump you. I'm just playing with you so far.
Alright.
Ready for a bruising?
So it's not in this section. It's in the next section.
So you wanna play it this way, do ya?
I assume we'll stop getting the extremely repetitive lines of dialogue
You
after.
wanna fight them?
Right. So I'm gonna just speed through all of this and go as fast as possible all the way
There better
down.
not be any massive fan blades this time. Oh good, no fan blades. Just laser cannons.
And yeah, it doesn't seem like you can even
Followed
miss.
by rotating energy beam things.
This will be
I bet the
interesting
shaft just
if I
ends in
get
a
hit by
giant
this,
furnace.
because I'll imagine that this is my immortality still won't really count
Submarine.
there.
Well, that must be how they sneak most of the equipment in.
Alright. So where are you, red brick? Well, it doesn't look like there's too many things here. Okay, so where does this go? Here. Just blow up some things while we're at it.
Let's give this thing an upgrade.
Is there another thing to grapple with? Let's see. Doing a lot of things just because. I think the red brick is in the next area. Alright. So if we've upgraded this, what is this gonna do?
Right. Just pretend it's one of those claw machines from the fun fair.
What's going on?
Can we skip this? No.
Uh-oh. Hey!
So the first time it just ripped off the edge of that and put it downward. And it seems like it's doing the same thing again.
My submarine!
Ha!
So
That should stop them sneaking any more equipment in, and I can use this engine to get through the reinforced door over there. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
So that felt like that really didn't change anything. We're still incredibly short on bricks, by the way. Like, relatively speaking, at least. Maybe not in a real world implementation, but let's see. We already did that. So yeah, I don't know what the upgrade was all about. Let's see. I think there's somebody running around over there. I don't see somebody. Oh yeah, there is somebody over there running around. And there's no way to jump over that. Okay. I'm gonna take it to mean that the next room is where we're supposed to be. And hopefully we don't end up missing something.
Coming through!
Maybe the engine didn't continue following us like it is now. Yeah, there's the red brick right there. Alright. Let's go ahead and get rid of several of these because That'll be easier. There we go. Yeah, we should be able to get this. For a second there, I think I almost felt like I put in the wrong code. Alright. There we go. So we've got now the red brick times 8, so we just need to save and exit. So this is the massive totality. We're also not getting studs when we, it seems like when we unlock characters either. So this puts us at the police station, which is exactly where I wanted to be. Although, there is an argument that we should go into the police station, and I guess we'll do that next recording and just look around, but actually we could probably do that. We got a couple of minutes. And so now the maximum multiplier of 3,840 studs per we're gonna get. So we're gonna see millions of studs every time we collect something. The only thing we don't seem to have a full grasp on is the red brick to attract studs, which if we had that, that would be nice. But it's not a full necessity. This purple stud is always here, so if we need to grind out going to an area from this point and jumping back into this, fast traveling back to this point would be the ideal move. I guess the question it would boil down to is what area would be the best place to get some quick studs from. Probably this playground, if I was to guess. I suspect you could come over here, break this, run through this, do each of these activities, and that would give you a decent amount, but probably not as much as you would like. What's this gonna be? Apparently that was 5 out of 5. I don't think this would be a particularly safe. That's not like a safe thing to have at a playground. That's a weird line of dialogue. I earn more than him now. That's like an old-fashioned mentality of men should be ashamed if women that they're dating earn more. Which, in all honesty, this is called special assignment back to school. I don't. It's not a actual level. It's like a level 0 level. Interesting. Alright.
If I make 2 more arrests this month, I win a waffle iron.
Let's just see what we can scan. Here is something. So we're going to be looking for pictures on the wall. We'll go ahead and break things.
I hope the chief notices that I changed my hair today.
At
It'll make
this
being bald
rate-
all last week worthwhile.
So, until we find the camera, we have to take mugshots by photocopying people's faces? Well, okay.
I feel like these might have been like classic minifig police officers from many generations previous. This is totally... We need, like, the unlimited dynamite doesn't work, so there's a dynamite in here. And this is a little subversive, I suppose, to have a level where you're just destroying a police station. A little not kid-friendly. I wouldn't really complain about it, but I could certainly see some parents not being happy about it. That's 2 out of the... That's 2 out of the potential 10. That's 3 out of the potential 10. Well, geez, I'm gonna make short work of it at this rate. I collected 2 bricks so close together that the game doesn't even know what to do.
What do you want?
Usually they design Lego levels better than that, where the gold bricks would be at least further away from each other. Far enough that the animation screen wouldn't still be playing. Alright. It doesn't strike me as though there's any more.
I want to make captain by the time I'm
Here.
40.
So then we'll take this. We're in the lobby. Let's go in the briefing room first because I'd like to see what the briefing room really is now. Because it didn't seem like it was a usable area to potentially play back videos. So I'm wondering if perhaps it's a place that would unlock when we have all the gold bricks. Like, yeah, there's kind of nothing here. We'll leave some seats. We'll grab some popcorn. We'll eat the popcorn. That's kind of all we can do. So is this just unfinished? Is that what this really boils down to? Is that they planned on this being where you could rewatch cutscenes and they never finished that? Like, every other LEGO games has had a section where you could rewatch cutscenes, and you would have been able to rewatch cutscenes from the beginning, not like after beating all the levels or anything. So it's very, very strange that this one doesn't seem to do that. So what happened? Did Nintendo like reduce their funding? Like, I've never heard of Nintendo pulling any kind of shady publishing deal being any worse than any other publisher, which, let's face it, they're probably all a little shady. But
I've been doing this for months, and my arm's still the same size. What gives?
You have to kind of guess one or two things there. Either Nintendo did pull their funding, or TT Fusion was just so over budget that they couldn't even finish the project, or so over time that they couldn't finish the project. Right. Let's go in here. This is where we make custom characters. And theoretically, if I don't have the achievement for playing as the default custom characters, this would have to sit. What's funny is that there's seating here for like identifying people, which I've never seen it depicted on TV, that there was a large room in which you do a lineup. This looks much more like an execution room than it does a lineup. What does this do? This is people of all categories that we could purchase, but we won't do any of that until we are at 4 billion studs, because it doesn't make sense. And once we start doing that, we will be unlocking a considerable amount of things. Same is true for these vehicles. These are kind of redundant though, because you can also just purchase these things. And we can exit on this second floor, which is nice. These are the red bricks, which this menu works terribly because of this. It's just giving you these like 3D models. This is the only 3D models in the game you can view, apparently, and they're hideous and have serve no purpose. And I guess we've never been in this section before. We're going a little over, but that's fine. And there's a gold brick there. Is this gonna be just buy gold bricks? Well, that's 4, 8, 12, 16. 16 gold bricks to balance it out to 450. Interesting. So where are we in this level? It's not even really telling me. We've gotten 10 out of 10 out of the police station, but we'll have to remind ourselves to come back and buy those gold bricks if we have to. I suspect we probably will have to. I assume all that is saved. So what we don't want to do is run through a list of levels and try and figure out how the order here goes. So what I think I'll do is we'll just start here, and we're going to just kind of go in a counter circle and try to go where I think we're supposed to go. Like, I think this is the second level, I think this is the third level, fourth level at that point, I have no idea. So yeah, it's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be an awkward thing to do. And it wouldn't really help to walk to this position and see if that reminds me. Meanwhile, we know that each of these sections still has a significant amount of things that we need to get done So you just kind of need to do the levels in order to get everything in order or out of order. It really doesn't matter. I'll try to do them in order. I'll see if maybe I can get a map that actually labels the levels in a numerical order. Otherwise, we're just gonna kind of run around and do it kind of random. And since we're all here, we can grab these studs, which is super useful still, despite the micro stuttering. Man, the micro stuttering still is happening and it sucks, but it is so much more controlled than it was before. I honestly think that maybe the next LEGO game that comes out would have some bug fixes and then we wouldn't run into it at all. So we jumped considerably in the amount of studs we have. We were down below 100,000 when we started this recording. Now we're at 281,000, which puts us about a third towards a billion. We need 4 billion, so about a 1/12 of the way there. Pretty easy to see and guesstimate that in the next 12 recordings, which it's sad to say there still are a lot more than 12 recordings, we will probably have everything up to 4 billion, and we'll see if it stops at 4 billion or if it doesn't. If it stops, then we'll make a special effort to unlock a bunch of people and then get it spend as much of our currency as possible. We have 31 of 39 red bricks, which tells me there's only 8 red bricks in the levels left. We have 97 of 305 characters. That number will jump up once we start unlocking things pretty quickly. We need to get 2 of the true LEGO hero bars finished, and that's almost certainly the first 2 levels, and we'll get that done easily. We have 28 of 120 vehicles. We'll get that done moderately easy, but we will have to spend an effort finding vehicles and doing car theft missions. And we have 153 of 450 gold bricks, and I think that number will skyrocket eventually too. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.